You know, you can kind of see a peak that I'm tracing beyond the trees. When you're not here in person, it's difficult to see the mountains through the trees, except for when you get into a clearing or higher up on them. But I can attest to the fact that I like being here just as much as the Smokies or the Blue Ridge Parkway, because today's Friday, Wednesday I was in the Smokies, and Thursday I was in the Smokies going through Cates Cove, and then I took the Blue Ridge Parkway to get home. And frankly, I'm just as happy here as I was there. It's just a very, very wonderful spot. Here we go. We're getting to a spot where you can see the mountain. You know what? I think that's a bit of a photo opportunity right there. I wish I could take you guys to these places in person. That's kind of what I hope to accomplish with these videos, because something about just the mountain ahead of us doesn't show up on camera all that well. You can kind of see it. And hearing the waterfall, I mean, I didn't bring my good audio recorder because that's what I always do. If I'm not planning on making a video, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna just take the small camera and my main camera just for taking pictures if there's any opportunities. And then I always end up making a video. So here you are with my in-camera thing. I planned on sitting on that rock for this shot, but frankly, I kind of wanted to explore around. Something about this spot being so small, it's something I'm always going to talk about when I'm here. Every Sauratown mountain video, you're going to hear me talking about small. And this trail that I'm on is like the kiddie trail. It's just like little kids trail and handicapped accessibility. This part's not the handicap accessible part, there's a paved portion, but it's just, the first attraction is a rock garden, which is 0.1 miles away from the start of the trail. And I think like 0.3 miles away is where the waterfall is that we're heading to. There's long trails here, there's small trails, there's big hikes up the peaks, there's hikes just along the valley. I've done so much of it here because it's just such a joy. I highly recommend it. I mean, honestly, if you want to come to North Carolina and maybe don't want to go to the Blue Ridge Parkway or the Smoky Mountains or Transylvania County, or that's just the mountains, if you're not interested in going to the coast, then go to the Sauratown Mountains. The Winston-Salem has beautiful history. There's 3 cities in this area. You got Winston-Salem, High Point, Greensboro, and there's a ton of small towns that are well worth it. Tons of history here, and there's more parks. I mean, this is a very overlooked part of the state. A lot of interesting history with the old tobacco mills and cotton farms and textile mills. Just so much here that nobody pays attention to. Maybe it's my job to get these for you guys. And here I've been rambling. Let's check out the Cascades, Upper Cascades Fall, I think this is. Here we are. This is called the Cascade Creek, I think. I wouldn't really call it a river. They might call it a river. It goes into a lake, or from a lake, one of the ways. I really want to get down there, and there seems to be some steps to get down. So let's head down there. You know, one of the things similar to this park is the South Mountain State Park, which is, if you're ever in that area and wondering about going hiking, then South Mountain State Park is well worth it. You get some beautiful views into the Linville Gorge. The reason why I recommend this over the South Mountain Park is just because if you're at the South Mountain State Park, there's not really a whole lot of cities near there that people will be going to for other purposes. It's more of a, if you're local to North Carolina and haven't been there, definitely go. I mean, South Mountain State Park's one of mine and Chloe's favorites as well. It's the first one we started this hiking thing on, so it's special to us. Alright. Navigating this is going to be tricky, so I'm going to cut to just me being down there. It's probably as low as we're going to get. I love this crevice, though. And then the falls are behind that fallen branch. Or I guess it's a whole tree. You can see it snapped in half right there. I wonder how that happened. Hopefully nobody caused that and got injured. But, yeah, a lot of people will rock climb at this park because there's beautiful cliff faces at various mountains, Pilot Mountain included. I always include Pilot Mountain when I'm talking about the Sauratown Mountains. It's a Sauratown mountain, but it's not part of the Hanging Rock State Park. It's its own little entity. Both are well worth it. If you're coming here for rock climbing, I think that that's a great option. Yeah, there's actually more down that way, but I'm not gonna go down there. Your boy mum is he didn't bring his backpack with him as he hiked this trip. Even when I do small hikes, I'll usually even bring my backpack full of equipment just in case, but today your boy mum was getting lazy. He wasn't even planning on hiking. He was just driving in the area, decided to swing through the Hanging Rock State Park because it's a wonderful park. And you know what? He ended up regretting not planning on hiking here. I mean, I had a job interview in the area, so I figured I'd go to the interview, come to the park. Beautiful day. Here, your smooth brain mom here was trying to get down, going, well, I guess that way. I always forget that I'm in selfie mode. You guys keep asking for it, so here I am. But then I realized that the boardwalk area has stairs that just go right down to the bottom. So let's go down there. And while we're here, the stairs say to be careful because they get slippery, and that's true. If you're ever in the Winston area, the Triad, Greensboro, High Point, and you ever are here during the winter, give these mountains a shot, because sometimes these beautiful waterfalls will freeze over, and that's gorgeous when that happens. Here, coming up on just a spot called the Rock Garden. It's only 0.1 miles away from the parking area. And, you know, it's a fun little spot to run around on. Here I am walking on it. I keep losing my footing because I'm not paying attention. Look at that. It's lovely little spots. I love how this rock balances on it. Coral reef looking rock. Here's that sucker. That's something I notice here a lot, is there's a lot of these cool little rocks that look like they belong on a coral reef. There's more down that way. You know, I'm gonna head down that way. Why not? I see the paved path goes that way. And something funny, here's a little berry bush. Look at this sucker. You know, I don't need to do that many cuts when I'm here. And it results in the stuff at this tiny mountain range ending up being some of my longest videos, which is kind of funny how I talk about it being a small place whenever I'm here, and then I always end up making it some of my longest little videos. There's no way, you know, some people boulder on that thing, but there's no way I'm doing that. I feel like this, I know I don't weigh enough, but I don't want to risk freaking taking this thing and teeter it onto me. Gorgeous though. I'm happy to look at it. One of these days I'm going to see it's going to be toppled on its side. Oh, look at this little cavern right there. Look at this. You know, I'm not doing these in order because I started with the waterfalls. Kind of walked past this and was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to get it on the way back. So here I am on the way back. Look at this beautiful little coral reef kind of thing. Oh, is this? Yeah, I think the Cascade Creek is just below me. I can hear the waterfall coming up. I bet it's right there, and I wouldn't be surprised. You can see just a little bit of the ridgeline. That's not the ridgeline you see while you're down there. I think you have a better view of one of the actual mountains. I think it's Cook's Wall that you can see. I'm always getting the walls wrong. There's Moore's Wall and Cook's Wall here, and then Hanging Rock, which are the three main mountains in this little section of the park. There's a few others, but like Brown Mountain is here. It's not the iconic Brown Mountain. That's in a different spot near the Linville River Gorge. But the Brown Mountain out here is mostly covered in antenna and stuff for broadcasting and telephone usage. But yeah, there's little stuff about this park. About this little park in these little mountains where I make my longest videos. Have a good one.